who's doing some crooked shit with my books. So no more yelling for me. I just got on there and embarrassed them, and they didn't. She said, "Yo, I didn't even know. He didn't even know you was embarrassing him." I said, "I didn't even know I was." I said, "She said, I wish I was there." I said, "Because you get to a certain level in your consciousness where you know how to speak to this." See, I know how to do it spiritually. He does it as a comedian, clearly. And watch the second stand-up, or the second one. Watch the first one and the second one. They're all on, I think they took them off of, they were on Hulu, I believe, or Prime. They might have took them off because Saturday Night Live started a YouTube channel. So you may be able, I think you still can catch it there. You got to just go to their channel and catch it. So now, and then he did, and so he's a certified genius. I love Dave Chappelle. He's absolutely my favorite comedian. I love comedians because Bobby absolutely studied comedians. He studied them hard. Timing and the ability to go off the head, the ad-lib aspect. See, I'm talking, we're now at 5 hours and 11 minutes. All I ever wanted to tell you was that come to St. Louis, Kentucky. I'll put up the flyer, be prepared. That's going to be the next state. For those who are in that state, be ready. For those around that state, be ready. For those who are going to be traveling, be ready. That's all I really had in my head. And then started dealing with the question. 5 hours later. And truthfully, if I wasn't hungry, go another, whatever. I'm not out of it. That comes off your head. That I know it's spiritual. And I know, because I don't remember where we started and blah, 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 blah. Some comedians have that ability. Dave Chappelle could do that. It's a form of ad-libbing. It's the most advanced you could do. That means you are in the now. You're in the chaos moment. That's what Chaos Manage and Kia and all that shit is talking about that we talked about earlier. You're in the moment now. You understand what I'm saying? You can act now. He could do that. Bobby studied that because that's what he had to present as a lecturer. Loved Richard Pryor. We watched nothing but comedians. Or he told me, did you see him? Did white comedians, black comedians? He loved comedians. And that's why he was funny. Yeah, he's naturally funny too. But you're not studying them to try to be funny. It's another thing, another crowd control thing, because we need humor to get a very strong message across. So he studied them. I grew up with a lot of them. You know, of course, Richard Pryor was the only one I snuck his record out of my father's house and all of that shit too, and brought it to my mother's house, and me and Dane listened to That Nigga's Crazy, which Khadijah's father, when he passed me, got his stuff, had a copy of that album. I'm gonna bring that shit down here. It's up in the spirit room. The Nigga's Crazy. And, you know, we remember that, like, let me climb a picture, bitch. We said it all over. Yeah, how much is the petrol? All that shit was just so funny. Waitress, let me get this turtle soup and all that shit. And, you know, Richard Pryor was a masterpiece. All them other records, I was hard to get into with Richard Pryor because, you know, he did his characters. But That Nigga's Crazy was the fucking one. Cheech and Chong. They're not my favorites, but any little niggas like my son and the niggas love Cheech and Chong because that was the ritual. They get high and you were told to watch Cheech and Chong high. In our days, we would watch Cheech and Chong high. But that one motherfucking movie because P.B. Herman started out with Cheech and Chong, he wasn't even funny. He was in that movie. He was the something man. I think that was in Nice Dreams. But there was one they had Cheech in a straitjacket. He was in a crazy room, padded room. He's running around yelling, ah! He said, ah! Somebody help! My balls itch. Yo, that shit was, when you watch that shit high, oh my God. So my sons and them, they got Cheech and Chong movies. Him and him and his man Fuzzy, my son had a friend who lost his life. That's hard. My son took that hard. You know what I'm saying? Torrent. And they used to watch Cheech and Chong. So he took the Cheech and Chong movies, put it on the altar. You know what I'm saying? Put the weed on the altar, but then he smoked it. Fucking idiot. And then, they had a stand-up. I remember my mother and them used to play when I was really little. I got a basketball, Jones. And they used to do, their Mexican spiel. And I just remember her playing that record. It just was so real. We would listen to it because I've never heard like a story record. So that was big. But comedians, Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, not really. And I knew him, but acquainted in the, at Latin Quarters where I was a Super Lover C, he was hanging there and we interacted. But I never found him that funny. Martin Lawrence, okay. Like I said, I found clever motherfuckers. There was a nigga, I can't remember his name, Tony something. He was on Def Jam a couple of times, but I seen him outside of Def Jam. Real clever. I remember the joke, he said something about he was fucking some girl. This was the joke he told on Def Jam. Tony something, dark-skinned dude. And he was like, he's fucking the girl and she used to do something. He used to feel something on his balls. He's fucking her. And then he tells the joke, then the punchline is like, turns out when I was fucking her, the cat was licking my balls the whole time. And everybody started laughing. He said, then I said, fuck you, I don't need you, bitch, I'm leaving. Let me get this goddamn cat. You know what I'm saying? It was so clever because he tells it in story form. He was one of my favorites and I knew him before Def Jam. A lot of the people who were my favorites, because I used to watch this shit when it was on like white shows and before Def Jam, were too clever for Def Jam. Def Jam turned into some monkey shit. Robin Harris wasn't my favorite. I liked him, but I can't even think of him. Dave Chappelle, I'm missing somebody. But the timing and the delivery is actually what we had to study. Somebody said, you make a good comedian. No, you put me on stage and say, tell jokes, then you'll see some real stupid, going nowhere shit. It works in the context of the lectures and the timing, and that's what it's for, because that's why certain comedians can also give you social commentary that's deep. Chris Rock still gives good social commentary. He's just a goofball who wouldn't mind wearing a dress. You know what I'm saying? George Carlin, no. I mean, I respected George Carlin's cleverness, but but that's a good one to bring up, DJ. I do remember this. My father enjoyed George Carlin. I remember George Carlin was on the Tonight Show. He's doing his jokes. He's like, babies, and you go hats. So, oh, wait a minute. Let's hear it for Scotch Tape. Everybody started clapping. Woo, woo, gone, Scotch Tape. He was like, yeah. He said, okay, so now I was drinking Pepsi, and it took him 3 minutes to catch up with the joke that he just made him clap for Scotch Tape for no reason. Bernie Mac, okay, he was all right. Cat Williams, funny, but not genius. I'm talking about genius level. Patrice O'Neal came real close to genius level. You know what I'm saying? But I would have loved to hope he died. Paul Mooney was just Paul Mooney. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't really say, you say Jack Nicholson is a good actor because of his experience. Paul Mooney wrote for Richard Pryor. So he said the same jokes in his social comedy. I went to a live show and Paul Mooney came through. I went to a live show, I was still dealing with anger. So somebody was on the line kissing his ass and I was making faces. So when I got there, he's looking at me like, nigga. And I'm like, I don't get it. But you see my faces. I don't know. I'm not aware of this yet. And then when I came back, and then Richard Pryor came through the other day, told me to watch. What the fuck did he tell me? Not his movie, JoJo Dancer. And it was excellent, but not Grease Lightning and none of that shit. But Paul Mooney came through with him and said, yeah, nigga, I remember your mad face. I was like, nigga, I'm sorry. Like, you still saying sorry. He was laughing. Let's see. Bernie Mac was good. Red Fox is genius, but not we talking about in the more these days. Robin Harris, all these guys are masterpieces, but not that guy. Mike Epps. Woo! That's my nigga. I knew I was forgetting somebody. He's neck and neck with Dave Chappelle. He's a fucking genius, but listen, there was this spot in Brooklyn when I lived in Brooklyn. It was above the Applebee's. It was a little hangout, karaoke and stand-up. And Mike Epps used to be in there before there was any name. And boy, this dude was fucking hilarious, going off the head. Niggas would say shit, he would ill out. And I remember him saying, I just got a movie role, Day Day, and then did Day Day. And even a little bit before that, I was working at the record label. No, so this is after that, because this was when I was selling porno. So this is, wait a minute, god damn. Because I was at the record label and started selling porno. And I was selling porno when I was going to that club. Damn, this shit, man, the mind works. First encounter with Mike Epps. I was working at the record label. I had to call vendors and set up shit. And some vendor I called, and a black chick was on the phone. Boom, got a number, met up. Little hood rat. There was some club, I don't even remember, there was a comedy show. It was a lot of niggas from Def Jam. And what I noticed when they did their comedy show downstairs, what I noticed was they was getting all these groupies like rap used to be in the 80s. I was like, these old noon ass niggas. So they get off the stage, go get a bunch of pussy. Bunch of new niggas, and Mike Epps was there. So now the girl was roaming around the club doing her thing. I was chilling doing my thing. We was seeing each other. I knew I was gonna fuck her later, but I was like, shit. So it was 2 levels. So they had another show upstairs. I went upstairs. And this was more like, the club was in the downstairs and it was more like a eating stage area. So they doing their thing. So I sat over there, 2 chicks. I'm talking to them. And I'm like, yeah. This dude's shirt is too tight. It's like, well, if you could wear it, pull it off. I said, no, I can't wear it. And if I could wear it, I'm not wearing it. That's tight shit. I'm just making a conversation, but trying to see where this shit went. And Mike Epps came with swagging, and they said, okay, we gotta go now. And he just looked at me like he picked me off. Like, I said, oh shit. I started laughing because I knew who he was from before, because after that. No, this is after. I didn't know who he was. No, I knew who he was. Why did I know who he was? Oh, I just seen this comedy. He didn't do Day Day yet. He might have did Def Jam or whatever was going on, because this was the Def Jam crew trying to do it. So he probably knew him from Def Jam. And I just thought it was funny because he wasn't doing it like malicious. He was doing it like it was the movie. Your bitch chose me. But he was doing it to play with me like, and I said, this nigga is funny. And I just laughed because he still was taking the bitches from me. And then I left that company and started selling porno online for a while. I was killing it. And we was hanging out with the club, and we was hanging out frequenting this place, and he used to host it. And then he said he was going to do Day Day. And then so it made me watch. But if you watch Mike Epps online, this stand-up is amazing. That little baby arm shit is the best shit I've ever seen. We went to go see him do stand-up. Bill Bellamy, man, he did a good job. I was surprised Faison could do stand-up. I thought he was just what we seen on TV. He was actually pretty decent. Me and Khadijah went to see him. But Mike Epps, look at his YouTube channel. Incredible. Know who's another funny nigga that's actually genius? What's the dude who played in Think Like a Man? He also played in the last version, the black dude. He also played MC Hammer, Romy or something Romy. He has a movie, Cat Williams, he's too. That chicken wing. Your chicken wing, yo, you gotta see Mike Epps when he's doing this rapper who was hiding, then his chicken wing arm came out. Yo, he was doing this dance with the chicken wing arm. Watch his fucking YouTube. where he does his characters. Oh, it's fucking. He takes you to his hometown and be imitating his uncle. You can see where he get it. He's a genius too. I love Mike Epps. You know what I'm saying? Romy Malco. I think it is Malco, but Roman. He has a movie, and you can watch this now. He does a character online, a motivational speaker from jail, and he be dropping. He's conscious. Romy, whatever, Malco. He's conscious, and he be saying he say it in character like he's an inmate, but he be saying some shit. That's why when he was in that movie with Kevin Hart, he's going, yo, it's hard to be fucking woke. Remember, they was already starting to shit on this woke shit. I've seen it coming, but I didn't realize he really considered himself woke. Then he does an independent movie about this shit. What's it called? J.B. Smoove, another good one. Jamie Foxx, he's a flop. He shouldn't be doing comedy at all. Jamie Foxx proved he's not a comedian. He came as a comedic actor, but he showed in Ray what he really came here to do. J.B. Smoove was the man. J.B. Smoove on Curb Your Enthusiasm proved he's the man. Because he goes off the head. Bobby really loved J.B. Smoove. Really loved J.B. Smoove because of his ability to ad-lib. That's what it was about for us, ad-libbing. I wish we could get that Romy. Tijuana, yeah. Gas straws in the house. Tijuana Jones. Oh, God, watch that. I would get high and watch that over and over and over and over again. It's so fucking genius. Romy Mercado or more. He is, and you see him doing in this character, he actually has a whole YouTube channel with just that character, Tijuana Jackson or Tijuana Jones. Incredibly funny guy. George Lopez, not really. Kevin Hart, no, that's for kids. Tracy Morgan, big ups, know what I'm saying? What up, B. Pratt? Oh, B. Pratt, what up, bro? Oh, B. Pratt in the building. How you doing, bro? Gas Drawers, my nigga. What's up? We're gonna start this. I want to see y'all dudes show up at the what you call it? The podcast is gonna be like the radio show again, guys. These are my radio show thugs, Gas Drawers. And if, I can't remember what state you're in. Corey Holcomb, very good. Corey Holcomb is excellent. I would put him at the top of my list, along with Tracy Morgan. Ari Spears, not at the top of my list, but I wouldn't shit on him. He's a good comedian. I think his comedy, his imitation was great, but then his ego got, like I said, Corey Holcomb, yes, I can fuck with him. I like his in the face thing, you know what I'm saying? I like most of them. You're in Detroit. If you can make it a B. Pratt, I always want to see. I know where you at, but I remember we met in Detroit. You showed me the leg shit. This nigga B. Pratt is like Schwarzenegger, son. Like, I seen him online for years. I met this nigga. I'm like, nigga, you need to travel with me. Niggas won't say shit to me, but hello. Arnez J, one of my top. Another one. One of my top. Like I said, I put Dave Chappelle, maybe Mike Epps in a certain thing. But Arnez J is from out here. And when Khadijah was a massage therapist, she actually was massaging him. She said that nigga had her cracking up. He used to talk and try to get relationship shit out of us, but she's not in the human relationship. She's like, your nigga ain't like that. Your nigga ain't like that. Like, no, my nigga don't do that. Because he's trying to look for shit to say on stage. But that fucking shit, I did a whole lecture where I was doing his shit with Kamani. What was he saying? Because he does his retarded brother, Arnez J. What was I doing? I kept doing that shit to Kamani, or whatever the fuck it was. Whatever that shit he does. Hurricane. Oh! Now y'all reminded me. That nigga I put... Okay, let's take Mike Epps and Dave Chappelle and say, I think they're in a class of their own. Mike Epps under Dave. Now just guys I like, because I don't want to get that confused. Hurricane is one of my fucking best. Laurel Crawford sometime. Chris Tucker, surprisingly, later, that early Coon shit wasn't doing it for me. Come on, man. Yeah. But that last one he did was a little bit, he came off the bench really good. But Hurricane is always my favorite. These ain't jokes, man. Like, I love Earthquake, not Hurricane, Earthquake. Now, who's Hurricane? That Earthquake is, and you know why? I always mistake him and call him Hurricane too. Because when I heard that, I knew you were talking about Earthquake's a nigga. These ain't jokes, man.
Hit that like button, subscribe, and tap that bell notification so you can be notified next time I drop some more heat.